dua, tiga. Twinkle, twinkle.
This may look like an ordinary classroom in Jakarta, but this classroom is a part of a very unusual school that is able to boast a reputation as being one of the first of its kind in the world. The Aluna School, or Sekolah Aluna as it is pronounced in Indonesian, is nestled in the quietest streets of South Jakarta, approximately an hour outside of one of the world's fastest growing cities. The school was founded in 2013 and uses Montessori teaching methods to educate its students that range from 2 to 9 years of age. Montessori schools are based on principles created by Maria Montessori, who founded the first Montessori classroom in 1907. The Montessori approach is based on scientific observation of children from different socioeconomic, ethnic and cultural backgrounds from childhood to maturity. Now, although this developmental approach is quite new, it is also quite popular, with over 22,000 accredited Montessori schools worldwide today. Ashley Irwine, classroom director for the 3 to 6-year-olds at the Brisbane Montessori School, says the approach was developed for a wide range of students.
Maria Montessori was born a long time ago and she started as a doctor, and then from there she was able to sort of look into education and look at the slums in Rome and help out the children that were there, and also the children that are disabled and not able to read or write or had no hope.
Maria Montessori developed curriculum for all ages, but focused specifically on the development of children between birth to 6 years of age, as she perceived this period to be instrumental for learning through the senses using concrete inputs. After this first presentation of the materials, the children are given autonomy to explore the learning apparatuses at their own pace. The idea is to allow the children to create their own assumptions and learning hurdles.
In Montessori, you can work with a child's strengths, and it's very individualized, whereas in the mainstream school, you're teaching to the middle of the group, which is quite challenging as a teacher when you know you've got children who are either very advanced or very delayed in some areas, and they actually need to spend a bit more time on a skill or a concept, and you just can't give them the time that you need.
Rina Jayani, the founder of Aluna School, says that these elements of the Montessori method were critical in assisting her son Ramsey, his success being the impetus for starting the school.
I started the school because I was very happy with the progress of my son, who is hearing impairment. He's 15 years old now, and he has grown as a happy child, and he's able to speak verbally and goes to a normal school. So I would like to share my experience with my son to other parents.
Travelling to Sydney to learn audiovisual therapy for Ramsey, Miss Jayani discovered early intervention was a critical factor for this type of hearing impairment solution to succeed.
I want to spread the awareness that early education is important for the children, especially for the children with hearing impairment. If the parents want the children to be able to hear and speak, it has to be at early age.
Barul Fuad, Technical Associate for Disability at Universitas Indonesia, also says early education is important for disabled students.
Vocational training, is needed for the young person with disability to get enough skill to employ.
Mr. Fuad said that this lack of support in early education is one of the leading causes for the problematic dropout rate of the young disabled students in Indonesia.
According to the data from Ministry of Social Affairs Indonesia, that's 75% of the person with disability only get the elementary school.
Mr. Fuad goes on to state that infrastructure, government budgets, and, importantly, stigma attribute to the issue.
Stigma also among the children, among the students in the school, and also the teachers.
Because of these issues in education, many disabled students do not go on to achieve job success later in life.
59% of the people with disability do not get the decent work, employment, because of that they aren't educated.
Mrs. Jayani attempts to fight these issues through inclusive education, bringing students from rich, poor, regular and hearing impaired backgrounds to the school.
The inclusion school, I want to spread the word to people that inclusion school is good, because one, the regular children learn to be grateful of what they have by seeing other children who have disabilities, and they can also raise their empathy.
Mrs. Jayani holds a deep belief in the important lessons to be learnt from inclusive schools. But she understands that these lessons cannot solely come from Aluna. The support of these lessons needs to extend outside of the classroom. This means the attitude of the parents contributes significantly to the Aluna community. Because of this, Mrs. Jayani personally meets all the parents before admitting their children to the school and attempts to assist them in any way she can.
The motto of the school is school for everyone. So I really want to help. My focus is the children. As long as the parents are committed to work together with the school for the good benefit of the children, about the school fee we can discuss.
This philosophy to help the parents is demonstrated by a variety of school activities, like regular educational workshops, celebration events, and even the school canteen.
So we have a canteen here that arranged by parents that I want to help, because her husband has passed away. So I give a space for her to have income.
The outcome of this holistic approach in the school as a community has resulted in a tight-knit group of parents and students.
Parents is like a community. They don't really care the parents of hearing impaired children or the parents of regular children. They can be together.
Mr. and Mrs. McMullen say it is the mix of all of these factors that make this school special for them, having had their child at the school since its inception in 2013.
The teacher will decide what will they teach the children, and the children will not feel bored because they choose the educational tool itself. That's the strongest point that me and my wife choose why we choose this school. Not just like other school where that's just business for them. For here, we all feel welcome and our child treat like their own children. We've been to different places like this. For us, we find this is the best for us.
The thoughts expressed by Mr. and Mrs. McMullen seem to be widely held, as the growth in the number of pupils at the school has gone from 20 to over 160 in just 4 years. Mrs. Jayani says she searches all over Indonesia for her students.
So I try to find children from quite far from the school who still need the school, but they don't. The parents doesn't have money.
The school has progressed substantially since its inception in 2013, but Mrs. Jayani has a message for Australia to assist bringing Aluna and schools like it into the future.
Australia can help Indonesia by sharing their experience and also helping school like Aluna, because we also need to open more classes, so maybe they can help Indonesia through Aluna.
Jordan McMullen reports, UQ in Indonesia.